Dave's winners are DJ Chark, J.K. Dobbins, and Jerry Jeudy. All right, DJ Chark, 65% roster. Dave, are you buying it? This is what, 98 and 94 yards in his last 2 games. He's at the Jets in Week 15.
I think the progression of Jameson Williams is going to be very slow. He played 13 snaps. 6 of them were on pass plays. So I think the Lions are taking their time with Jameson Williams. The longer it takes Jameson to get acclimated, the better it is for Josh Reynolds, not for DJ Chark. I think Chark's going to be an every down player for the Lions as long as he's healthy. Goff is throwing the ball well. This is a fun offense. If you get the chance to watch the highlights, you will see some great plays by a lot of players on the Detroit Lions. Goff did great. Chark did great again. I can buy into him as at least a number 3 receiver. And we said it before the games kicked off. We said it on CBS Sports HQ. He's still out there in a third of leagues. When as of the recording of this podcast, I believe it's 65% of leagues that he's rostered in. So he's going to be out there on the waiver wire, certainly in 10-team leagues. Is DJ Chark a potential league winner? I think there's a chance that he can help you out there at wide receiver.
Is there anyone you can think of that's a better waiver wire ad than DJ Chark? Let me check Donovan Peoples-Jones. He's 83% rostered now. Chris Moore, Travis Homer, in case the other guy.
I'd take Chark over all those guys.
Okonkwo?
As soon as Traylon comes back, I'm worried about Okonkwo and what he could do. Now, there is a concern next week because they play the Jets. And that we just talked about what they did to the Bills offense this week. So I think people will still start Chark as a number 3 receiver for that game. After that, it's Carolina, then Chicago. Those are good matchups. He's going to matter.
By the way, Jets-Bills started with 10 consecutive punts, most since 2016 in an NFL game. We talked about J.K. Dobbins. How about Jerry Jeudy? 3 touchdowns, 8 catches, 73 yards, 3 touchdowns on 9 targets. If it is Brett Rippon at quarterback against the Cardinals and Cortland Sutton is out, start or sit Jerry Jeudy next week.
You're going to start Jerry Jeudy. And this isn't about picking him up because he's already rostered in over 90% of leagues, but got a lot of questions this week about Jerry Jeudy. And the answer for a lot of them was Jerry Jeudy. I was hopeful that he would have a good game against Kansas City, and he sure did. So I'd love to see it. He's a very talented receiver, and good for Russ for getting him the ball too. But I think the Broncos game script is going to be pretty similar to what we saw this week, pretty much every week the rest of the way. Arizona next week, Rams after that, maybe not against the Rams. But then they've got Kansas City in the Week 17 fantasy finals. Judy's going to be a part of your lineup.
All right, let's go to Heath's winners here as Sunday Night Football has begun. I'm quite captivated by this potential shootout. All right, Heath, your winners are Donovan Peoples-Jones, 83% rostered, 38% started. Deontay Johnson, who had his best game, I believe, since Week 3. And Evan Ingram, who is the number 1 scorer in fantasy right now with 11 catches, 162 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Peoples-Jones, Deontay Johnson, Evan Ingram.
You know, it's funny. I said all 3 of the tight ends in that game could be startable this week, but I ranked them in the wrong order. Evan Ingram I had last. It was a remarkable performance. He's the one that I have the hardest time knowing what does it mean going forward. But what it absolutely means is going to be ranked as a top 12 tight end next week. I thought it was pretty important for Donovan Peoples-Jones, even though Amari Cooper was not 100%, to someone needed to have success with Deshaun Watson. And we don't know who his guy is going to be. So this is a step forward for Peoples-Jones. I think you move him back into that wide receiver 3 range with obviously quite a bit more upside than that. He just showed that. And then I don't think George Pickens over Deontay Johnson's going to happen this year, which means Deontay is going to be a number 3 wide receiver.
For what it's worth, his 3 best games of the season were his first 3 with Trubisky at quarterback, and then this game with Trubisky at quarterback. Now, there was a game earlier this year.
Pickens has done almost nothing without Pickett.
Right. Agreed. Yep.
Now, that could be just because those were his first 3 games when, of his career when Trubisky was playing. I don't know, but yeah. Is he going to score? Is Deontay Johnson going to score a touchdown this season? He has 4 games left.
Yes.
I'm going to take no.
Can you tell me when it's going to happen?
Even odds?
No, I feel like I should get some odds on that.
He hasn't
Plus
scored a touchdown all
110.
year. What do you mean?
Plus
I should get
110?
odds.
Can I get plus 110?
His
I
next
should
two
get
games
plus
are
110.
against Carolina and Las Vegas. I think he can find the end zone against one of those two teams.
I wonder what the record is for most targets without a touchdown in a season.
I will tell you.
Yeah, okay.
I'll have that. This is play Dave's music.
Well, the quicker, slicker, looker upper, Heathy.
I can't do it that fast. Go ahead. Move on.
All right, Dave, let's go to your losers then while Heath looks that up.
Fine.
Dave's losers are Latavius Murray, Mike Evans. Ugh.
Those aren't my losers, are they?
Oh, are those Heath's?
I think they're Heath's.
Really?
I think so.
Nick Chubb, Tom Brady, Travis Etienne?
Those sound like mine.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you want me to show you the text that I sent you?
I'm looking it up right now because I think you're lying to me. But yeah, you're right. Nick Chubb, Tom Brady, and Travis Etienne. You were right, Dave. Way to go. Dave, you were right. All right,
Yeah.
Nick Chubb. Are you worried about Nick Chubb? You're a little bit of a mini slump for Nick Chubb.
It's a mini slump ever since Deshaun Watson came back. That's a little bit concerning, and we know it's late in the year. And go take a look at his schedule. The next 3 weeks are against Baltimore, New Orleans, and at Washington. It makes me nervous. I know that we talk about Nick Chubb as a must-start fantasy running back. I wonder if there's room, especially since it's been a couple of weeks now that he started to give a little bit more work to Kareem Hunt. Adam, where are you going? I'm just a little nervous about him being a must-start top 5 type of fantasy runner.
Okay. Is there anything different about this than, say, Derrick Henry? It's not just a bad stretch.
Henry isn't sharing with somebody like Kareem Hunt, and he's still got the same quarterback that he's had all year. And his offensive line hasn't taken some hits. I think Cleveland's offensive line has taken some hits.
Hey, Tom Brady, geez. That's the worst I've ever seen him that I can remember.
I'm getting flashbacks to his last year in New England.
So I've shown 7 players in NFL history with 100 targets or more and 0 touchdowns.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have a record?
100% chance that the number 1 person Adam's never heard of. And I only think Dave's heard of him because of who he played for. Number 2 was Amari Toomer with 107 targets.
Amani. I've never heard of Amari Toomer. I've heard of Amani Toomer.
Okay.
though.
Yes, Amari Toomer. Number 1, Michael Timpson.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had him on a team.
No, you didn't.
That only goes back to
were like
1992 because we didn't keep track of targets before then. But
Mike Timpson.
Well, here's my question for Brady. Is Chris Godwin still a must start? Because he's had 2 stinks in a row.
Yes.
I think so. He was stunk this past week.
8 for 63 against New Orleans. I guess that's a stink.
yeah, 14 is not a stink.
Not in
chance.
full PPR.
Not at all.
But it doesn't.
In
it
non
doesn't-
PPR, it's a big smellaroo.
Also, Akeem Nicks was in the top 5 on that list. How does it make you feel that Eli Manning was responsible for 2 of the 5 seasons a receiver at 100 targets and 0
Nicks.
touchdowns?
I do not think it was Amani Toomer and Eli Manning, was it? No way.
I have no idea.
No, that was before him. Anyway, Chris Godwin, 63 yards last week, 54 yards today. I just like, I can't, it's so bad. He did get another end zone target that ended up being a Russell Gage touchdown off.
Right. You should have caught it.
So that's good. But
And Mike Evans had a deep touchdown called back by a holding penalty.
yes,
Brady
64
was,
yards.
that was a great throw from Brady. Brady hurt his finger. It looked like he hit somebody's helmet on the follow through on a pass. So that could have affected his passing today. But let's face it. He hasn't looked like Tom Brady for several weeks now. You might argue even all season long, he's rarely looked like the Tom Brady of last year. And so I think we're at a point where it's pretty easy to say, all right, Tom Brady's not going to help me win in the fantasy playoffs. You can move on to another quarterback. You might be able to move on to Brock Purdy and use him as your fantasy quarterback the rest of the way.
In fairness to Eli Manning, he split the Amani Toomer year with Kurt Warner.
Oh, this is rookie season. All right. and-
2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and Amani Toomer couldn't score a touchdown or get Heath to know his first name.
Armani.
Heath's losers are Latavius Murray and Mike Evans and DeAndre Swift. Ooh, yeah, let's talk about DeAndre Swift. 9 touches, 6 carries, terrible game. Very disappointing. Heath? Swift?
Yeah, I don't know what to make of DeAndre Swift, really. I mean, it's some fantasy therapy time because efficiency's not been a problem for him throughout his entire career. It's, can the guy be healthy? Can the guy stay on the field? And in this game, he was downright bad, not even good in the passing game. And right after we saw Dan Campbell talk about, he's finally there, we're going to unleash him. They play him more than half the snaps, and he gets 9 touches in the next game, and they have all this offensive success without him. I think we went a little too fast from DeAndre Swift, he's no more than a flex, to DeAndre Swift consensus top 10 running back. We should probably view him closer to 24.
But I think a lot of it had to do with the matchup. We were excited about the matchup, especially the fact that the Vikings aren't good against running backs who can catch the ball. How many targets and catches did he have in the game?
He had 3 catches.
4 targets. So it felt a little light. This is a game where Jared Goff was able to attack downfield, and you kind of knew that they were going in that direction when you saw Jamison Williams wide open for a 41-yard touchdown.
Yeah, but the thing is, Jamal Williams had 16 carries. Swift had 6. It just went right back to what it was before. It's not about throwing downfield. It's about the fact that Jamal Williams was the number 1 and DeAndre Swift was the clear number 2. And Justin Jackson even had a freaking touchdown. And
about all 3 of them were pretty even in snap share.
Yeah, but Williams is never going to have a high snap share because he's only in when they're running. But last week, he out-carried Jamal Williams for the first time in a long time. And that didn't happen, and that's a huge problem. All right, what about who's the other? Not Evans, Latavius. Ugh.
Dave won that one. Marlon Mack made the big play. Like the running back production was there. It was just a long play to Marlon Mack, who could not barely run 40 yards without falling down, even though no one came within 5 yards of him. But he was able to pull it off, and they played Mack considerably more after that as well. He saw an uptick in snaps and opportunities.
Sure.
The Latavius experiment looks to be over.
I don't know if it's over because he played 52% of the snaps.
That's not
11
enough.
of 19 snaps on 3rd and 4th down, 4 of 5 snaps inside the 10. I don't want to say that he got unlucky, but they talked this week about getting Mike Boone more involved. Boone got hurt in the second quarter. Mack came in and basically took all of those reps from Boone. So it could be close to like a 60-40 split if Boone's out for the year and it's Latavius and Marlon Mack the rest of the way. What an inspiring running back group they've got in Denver now.
Yeah, I think it might be a bit of an overreaction, Heath.
We saw him not play more than 50% of the snaps with Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon was gone for 2 weeks. His snap share went up to 82% and then 68% in a game where he had 21 touches.
They were down 27
was awful in those games. This was early on. Mike Boone was playing over him in the first quarter before Boone got hurt.
But Mike Murray had the most snaps and everything. I don't know. I mean, I think he's still their running back.
Go
ahead.
I don't want him, if he's going to play 50% of the snaps, get 12 carries and have 3 targets. He's
8 carries.
Too bad for that role.
Yeah, you're right. He sucks.
Right. He's a guy that I want if he's playing 70 to 80% of the snaps and they're going to throw it to him 4 or 5 times a game.